some scrambled eggs?
Please.
Wholemeal toast, grilled tomatoes, fresh coffee?
Yes, please.
You bloody well make it, then. Kitchen's in a state, isn't it? Things just don't seem to wash themselves up and put themselves away like they used to, do they?
You know, it's at times like this that I realise I should have married Dorothy.
Dorothy?
An early love. A sweet girl. She'd have made a better breakfast than a cup of black coffee. What's wrong with the milk?
It's sour.
I know just how it feels. Dorothy would have laid the table the night before. There'd be orange juice and boiled egg and a Daily Express and a nice bowl of all-bran to keep me regular.
Don't talk about things like that at breakfast. It's disgusting.
Regularity?
No, the Daily Express. Was she pretty?
Delicious. A vision in white cardigans. She always wore a white cardigan. Sometimes two. And she wore hair slides, and her perfume was Devon violets. And she said, "Beg pardon?" She said, "Beg pardon?" quite a lot. When she said it for the 999th time, I strangled her. I buried her in the rose garden. After 3 months, the roses smelled of Devon violets.
Shut up.
And as for what she did in bed...
I don't wish to know what she did in bed. What did she do in bed?
Very little. She called it having a bouncy. I was rationed to 1 bouncy a week, and when we'd finished, she'd sit up and say, "Do you feel better now, dear?" And then she'd make us a nice hot mug of Milo.
How cosy.
As I should have known, I've never forgotten the first time with Dorothy. She said, "Have you finished?" And I wasn't sure.
What happened to her?
Oh, I don't know. I dare say she got what she wanted out of life.
Which was?
A bungalow with a patio and a cosy glow. Funny, everything she wanted ending in O.
Oh.
Including the Milo. All she got from me was the elbow. It's a great mistake, though. I should have married her instead of my wife. I've told you about my wife, haven't I? The woman who thought marital fidelity meant changing the sheets before I got home.
God, don't start about her, please.
I'm not starting, I'm just saying it was a mistake marrying her. And it was a mistake not marrying Dorothy. I think I'm basically sexist at heart.
What do you mean, at heart?
Yeah, I know. I like the old days. Women were great then. They did everything for you. They knew their place. And they wore all those wonderfully sexy clothes.
White cardigans?
No. Stockings and suspenders and corselettes. You know, rude stuff. Oh, dear.
What is it about those wretched suspenders? Every middle-aged man I know gets off on them.
Well, and it's not just middle-aged men, is it? I mean, it's me as well. Oh, I'm not, am I? 38's not middle-aged, is it?
38? You're only... Oh, my God, it's the 6th.
I know.
It's your birthday tomorrow.
I know.
Oh, Philip.
I know.
Oh, I am sorry.
Oh, I am sorry.
It's all right.
How terrible for you.
Yes.
I mean, a birthday at your age.
Yes.
Another year gone.
Yes, I know. How are things with you, Ruth?
Fine. Well, we had an accident with the Volvo.
Oh, dear.
You remember my sister from Welwyn Garden City? Well, she wanted to thank us for having her to stay when there was that trouble over her divorce.
Yes, I remember.
We've got an open fire, you know. She ordered a big load of logs to be sent to us as a surprise.
Oh, yes?
Yeah, but they didn't come cut up. They came as whole trees. One of them rolled off the lorry and hit the car in the drive.
Oh, dear.
Yes, but the trouble is the insurance claim.
In what way?
Well, you see, I'm a woman.
Yes?
A woman driver. And where it says state how accident occurred, I've got to say that my stationary car was hit by a moving tree.
It's me, Ruth. You still here? But you'll be finished for the day. It's nearly 11:30.
Good Lord, is he? Dear me, Napoli, I must be off.
Did I do that?
Yes, I think so. I shouldn't worry too much. He was here, but he wasn't actually doing anything.
I don't know. Has anyone phoned for me?
No.
Absolutely no one at all?
No one at all.
Thank God for that. Hello, it's me. Anything yet? No? Great. Listen, if there is something, I'm on 713. Right. First day at the new school. It's nearly lunchtime. And the headmaster hasn't phoned up to say that Dylan's attacked a teacher. I'll set fire to the nature table. Or eaten the little girl next to him. I can hardly believe it.
So I thought Dylan was better behaved now because of his diet.
Well, it comes and goes. Actually, I thought of a different way of utilising diet as a cure. We drive off to Newport Pagnell service station and send Dylan off for a hamburger and chips.
Yes.
Then we belt like hell for Birmingham. No, actually, we took him recently to a head shrinker that Deborah knows, and something quite amazing happened. We sat there, and the shrink started to talk to Dylan, you know, man-to-man, one-to-one, communication. Dylan stood it for about 20 seconds. Then he started breaking wind. He can do it at will, you know. The shrink told him to stop it. Dylan threw a wobbler, rolled on the floor, and sank his teeth into the chap's ankle. Really chewed it up.
Oh, how awful.
Oh, it was par for the course, really, but then came the good bit. Deborah cracked. I mean, she really liked this chap. They'd met at our local Friends of the Earth, and they used the same bottle bank, so they'd struck up quite a friendship. I mean, attacking teachers is one thing, but when it comes to biting chunks out of woolly liberals, well, even Deborah draws the line at that. She shrieked at Dylan to stop it and clumped him one. I mean, she's never laid a finger on him before. I was euphoric. I was cheering her to the echo. Dylan froze in stunned amazement, and the shrink seized his chance. He stood up and kicked Dylan right up the saving your presence.
Bum.
You've been a model child ever since.
Oh, it can't last, surely.
Well, it might. It just might. He's been at his new school all morning. It's the third this year, I might add. And nothing's happened. I'd have heard by now if it had. Deborah would have rung. Oh, no!
Yes, everyone suffers from stress, but there are recognized techniques for dealing with it. Flexibility, role-playing, or humour, perhaps. Yes, a good laugh helps us to alleviate stress.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Let me give you an example. There's this chap, and he's about to be shot by a firing squad, right? A moment of extreme stress, you'll agree. So the thingy in charge, he says, would he like a last cigarette? No thanks, says the chap. I'm trying to give them up.
What happened then?
Well, they shot him, I suppose.
That alleviated his stress, did it?
Look, that's just an example, for heaven's sake. I mean, I'm just trying to explain, that's all. God. I sometimes wonder if I do any good at all, sitting here trying to explain things to people.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I've been under a lot of stress lately. I find it a bit difficult to alleviate.
Yes.
Thing is, I'm just not very good at explaining. I mean, this morning it was Gerald and the time clock on the central heating. I mean, you'd think a man of his age would have learned the difference between AM and PM, wouldn't you? But oh, no. So we sit there shivering all day, wondering what's wrong with the bloody thing, and then wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning absolutely sweltering. Of course, he always was rather keen on sauna baths.
Look, I'm sorry I was a bit slow on the uptake just there. The truth is, I'm a bit preoccupied today.
Yes, yes.
No, it doesn't matter.
No, tell me, please.
Well,
I mean, that's what I'm here for. I'm your analyst. You can tell me anything. Quite confidential, don't be shy. I mean, God, you know, I hear it all. Oh, you wouldn't believe some of the madmen that come in here. The stuff they come out with. I mean, some of them are really sick. They need help. Anyway, tell me.
well, it's my birthday tomorrow.
Oh, I am sorry.
It's all right.
No, it's not all right. God, I blither on about my little troubles, and all the time there you are sitting there with a birthday looming. I'm sorry, Philip, you must feel awful.
Well, it's not too bad.
One more year? What is it, 41, 42?
38.
Oh, God, there I go again. I'm sorry. Yes, 38. 38. It's a sheer inevitability of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
The rest of the year, you can just not think about it, you know, getting old, decaying, dying. But then it's your birthday and suddenly, wham, it hits you. You're not going to be around forever.
No.
Then once you start looking, there is all the evidence of age. Hair loss, blood vessels bulging, shaky hands, all over your body, bits of you refusing to function. Shall I show you something?
What?
The skin test.
Yes, all right.
Watch. I pinch a fold of skin on the back of my hand and then let go. Now, the time it takes to get back to normal indicates how old I am in true physiological terms. Actually, that's pretty good. Now, that means I'm quite young in real terms. You try it. Believe me, it's absolutely infallible. Well, on the other hand, it's probably just a load of rubbish. I mean, it doesn't mean a thing.
No.
Would you like a drink?
Yes, please.
I'm sorry. I should have kept my mouth shut. But, you know, I'm supposed to be open with you. As your analyst, our whole relationship should be rooted in honesty and truth, right?
Yes, of course. What happened to your leg?
Well, I was badly bitten on the ankle. By this maniacal little terrier. Cheers.
Cheers.
What did Dorothy get you for your birthday?
Who?
Dorothy, you know, the Milo addict.
I can't remember. Yes, I can. She got me a tie clip. In the shape of a whip. It was all the go in those days.
A whip? Do you think she was trying to tell you something?
Lord, I never thought of that.
Perhaps you should have taken the hint. You might have got bouncies a little more frequently.
I don't think so, no. No, Dorothy was more the sort of girl who... Well, she always preferred to look the other way when I filled a car up with petrol.
This isn't helping. What am I going to get you for your birthday?
Well,
No, you can't tell me. It's got to be a surprise.
you haven't got to get me anything.
Oh, yes, I have. My mother used to say that. Oh, no, dear, you don't have to get me anything. Please, don't even think about it. So one year I didn't.
Good Lord, what happened?
Absolutely nothing. All day, she just walked around the house, dumb. A pressure cooker on legs. Then she woke me up at 2 in the morning and cried for 2 hours.
I tell you what you could get me, if you're absolutely...
No, don't tell me. I've just thought of something. And you'll love it.
Good.
Right, you can get me another drink. I feel better now. Another problem solved.
You know, you could have saved yourself all this headache and just got me a bottle of malt whiskey.
Oh, Philip, that was it.
Oh, I'm sure it's a load of nonsense.
Hmm.
I'm sure it is. Ruth told me about it.
Hmm. Oh.
What's wrong?
What's wrong, Ruth, is that I have a pain in my, what I shall describe in deference to the sensitivity of your sex, as my bum. I've had a pain there for quite a while, otherwise known as my son-in-law. But this weekend it has assumed a literal as well as a figurative presence.
In what way?
It's quite a story.
Yes.
Rich both in incident and characters, and apocalyptic in more ways than one. It was the vicar who put the tin lid on it. Last Saturday I saved the life of my dear wife Alice.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yes. She was in the bedroom doing her face. I took one look at the extravagance of her preparations, and I assumed I must have overlooked an invitation to a Buckingham Palace garden party. Where are you going, Alice? I asked. I'm going to put the milk bottles out, dear, she said. And I think the McDarrens might be about, so I thought I'd better put a face on. I gazed at her. Or rather, I gazed at the £1/4 of cosmetics she was hiding behind. And I allowed myself to ponder, not for the first time, alas, on that dreadful mistake I made that sunny summer Saturday morning in 1957 in St. Stephen's Church, Muswell Hill. Well, at least he was a real vicar. No ton-up motorcycle or rock around the gospel with him. Oh, no. Hellfire and damnation, buckets of guilt. Thump the choir boys and an eye for an eye and divine retribution for 20 minutes every Sunday. That's what I like. The good old Church of England, red in tooth and claw. Anyway, I saved Alice's life by not giving in to the overwhelming urge to throttle her. And I went out into the garden to vent my feelings on the weeds. Oh. Our garden of late has become something of a rainforest. It's the sort of locale David Bellamy goes to prison to preserve. When I set to work zealously, I soon had a good smoky bonfire going.
Yes?
Thick smoke billowing everywhere. After a little while, there's this unearthly noise. I look up, and hurtling towards me like a biped mastodon is my son-in-law, Neanderthal Ned. Iron cross swinging from his neck, bellowing chunks of Anglo-Saxon at me for all he's worth. I tell you, for a moment I was quite frightened. I mean, I was only armed with a garden fork and a machete, and he's got that face.
Yes.
Well, it turns out that the bulk of the vegetation crackling away merrily in the flames was his crop of marijuana.
Good Lord.
I'd burned so much of it, the whole of the neighborhood must have been high as kites. He's been growing it for months. I was wondering why he was so keen on gardener's question time. Well, not that the dear child consumes it himself, oh no. Leave it out, Dad. That stuff's for nutters and hippies, isn't it? No, he sells it. Anyway, he stood there bellowing at me for some time, but I had been quietly and steadily inhaling the sweet-smelling fumes for quite a while.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes, for quite a while. I was suddenly overcome by a feeling of inane euphoria. I beamed at him. Very likely I called him man and asked him to cool it. Certainly I felt untypically well-disposed towards him. Pausing only to clasp him to my bosom, I drifted indoors, consumed a whole packet of sugar frosties, and dozed on the Draylon three-seater. Alice was playing the radiogram. The only person in the civilized world who still stacks an auto-changer. We went from Summer Holiday to Wagner's greatest hits in 6 clanking changes. It all sounded perfectly ravishing.
Are you all right?
Oh, yes, fine. And so next morning was the Percy Thrower of the drug industry. You see, he'd come to appreciate one of the great truths of capitalism. Shortage creates demand. He jacked his prices up and withdrew his free delivery service. His customers started calling round. My God, that was an eye-opener. The assistant bank manager, a member of the parochial church council, the gym teacher, dope fiends, the lot of them. And this is where I came in.
What?
It was the vicar who put the tin lid on it.
Yes.
Yes, I mean, when he arrived, I thought enough is enough. As soon as Yobbo's back was turned, I took garden fork in hand once more, marched out the last remaining patch of the noxious weed, raised said fork, and plunged it in my left foot. Yes. A tetanus injection was called for, which could have been done with a hypodermic in my upper arm, but instead seems to have been done with a number 7 knitting needle in the alternative side. Oh. And there's another thing.
What's that?
The skin on the back of my hand is still standing up.
Well, that's it then. I'm 38.
Happy birthday, Philip.
Thank you. Is there anything for me?
Right on cue.
What is?
I think that is your present.
My present?
Just stay there.
Hello, are you Elizabeth?
Yes, are you from the agency?
Yes. Is he in there?
Yes, he is. Look, I just want him kissed, you know. I fulfill the marital obligations.
Oh, don't worry. That's why I'm only kissogram now. I had quite enough of that when I was boobogram.
Boobogram?
He's not an Arab, is he?
No, he's not.
What's his name?
Philip.
Those Arabs were the worst. I made it clear I won't do Arabs.
No, well, you wouldn't. Do you need anything?
No, just announce me.
Right. Philip, your birthday present is here.
Ta-da! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Philip. Happy birthday to you. Philip.
Hello, Dorothy.